Hi, I am Dr. Portia Jackson Preston, and in this video, I just wanted to do a very informal take on what I'm personally doing to manage my stress as the election nears. So the first thing is, a few days ago, I created a file on my phone just using, one of the Notekeeper apps, and I wrote Selfcare, the election edition. And under that, I just started to think about setting my own intentions. During this time, of course, we've all been through different challenges. I've really been thinking about two things: intentionality and growth. So I knew that coming into this week, I really wanted to have a plan. And the first thing that I wrote down was that I wanted to revisit 2016. What is one thing that I would do consciously this time? Notice I didn't say differently because I don't want to put a value judgment on it. What would I do consciously? I think in 2016, I really hadn't prepared myself for any scenario other than the one that I desired. And so I, of course, had to go through my own adjustment after that. And this year, I think I'm just a bit more understanding that I've done my part and I've played my role. And I do not know truly what the outcome will be, but I need to be prepared to support my students, to be in a good place for myself in order to do that. I genuinely don't want to plan to be, depressed or any of these other feelings. And of course, some disappointment is natural if the outcome isn't what you want. And even if it is, you still might have some feelings about that. So I just want to keep my language in this video really open because I'm not sure who I'm speaking to, but I know that all of us, to some extent, are feeling stressed. So if I'm being vague, that's because my intention is for you to reflect on your journey, not mine. Okay, so one thing that I would do consciously this time is just prepare myself for the days to come and knowing that no matter what the outcome is, there's going to be some things to figure out moving forward. I think for the past few weeks, I've really been challenged to slow down in my life. So continuing to slow down my pace and be intentional about things and, try not to be overwhelmed. I think that's going to help me. So I feel like I have to be prepared for any scenario, but that's a very hard thing to prepare for. So at least just having an openness to it, I guess, is helping me. The second thing is to have a communication plan. So think about who you can talk to and be aware of how you feel and what you need. I would say avoid using substances to mask your emotions. I covered this in my earlier video because, again, your feelings are going to be waiting for you on the other side. So I'm discussing this in terms of a communication plan because I want you to think about, once you know how you feel, who can you talk to about those feelings? Who's going to be a supportive person for you? And what can you do to ground yourself without using, food and substances? I'm not saying don't enjoy your evening and, just be open about how you are using food as a tool or using substances as a tool to try to suppress your emotions. I personally have a few communities that I turn to for support, so I'm really thinking about those communities intentionally going into this time and knowing that I can reach out to them if I want to talk about anything. It's really okay to need others. That's something else I want to help normalize for us. And when you can, be there for other people. Reach out, but don't let it overwhelm you. My first priority is going to be making sure that I'm okay. And then once I'm okay, I can help other people. So here are the things that I've come up with for me, and you can tweak this to fit your own needs. My first thing is to remind myself of why I have hope, remind myself of what bonds us, remind myself of my intentions, and remind myself of my agency. What is it that is under my control? Then I have written down a few activities that I can do that I find comforting, and I've done some of these this weekend. Not all of them, but it helps to have ideas. I already have ideas of different practices that I can do to help with healing. For me, mind-body practices such as yoga or myofascial release really is effective for me. Listening to music. So I've already got it queued up to listen to my NPR Tiny Desk concerts and some of my favorite artists. I find Umi particularly relaxing, and I'm very grateful to one of my students actually who turned me on to that. Then the following is just really a list of things that I can watch on Netflix. I have a list of shows and movies, and up until now, I've actually had a hard time identifying things that I would like or enjoy watching, but I probably have like 50 different things that I would find enjoyable to watch. So I kind of feel like I have a plan for the next couple of months staying at home, which is great. Obviously, it's not going to be the only thing that I'm doing, but when I do want to relax and recharge, I have some things that I can go to very quickly, and they are separated by what is inspirational, what is entertaining, what is educational, and then what is challenging. There are some things that are very important for me to watch, but they're difficult for me to watch. So knowing what I'm looking for heading in really helps with that. I was supposed to write down a list of things that I could read. I'm pretty sure that I will get to that because I have so many books here that I read all the time. So I guess I can just continue my practices, but I'll say for you, do you have a list of things that you can read for entertainment or for education? Personally, for me, taking in the news, I prefer to read longer form articles that take more time and analysis over brief news articles. So I do go on news sites, but I do it very carefully and intentionally, and I try not to spend a lot of time there. I'm more likely to read some of the magazines and newspapers that I subscribe to. Okay. I also use different apps that are helpful to me. I use AppBlock to keep me from going on my phone after 8 p.m. and it blocks certain social media sites during the day just to really help me break the habit. I've also removed a lot of my apps. I use DoItLater to actually do two things. One is you can schedule a text message. So if you want to write something late at night, if you don't want to send it, you can set it to send the next morning. And I also use it to send automatic messages. So if things get crazy and people are just, checking in and I really don't have the emotional bandwidth, I can put out an automatic reply that says something like, "Thank you so much for your message. I'll be in touch in a few days." I found that really helpful earlier this year. The next thing that I really enjoy is InsightTimer because it has like over 20,000 free meditations you can listen to. So I definitely enjoy using that. And also Youper, Youper, Youper. It is an artificial intelligence app that is based on cognitive therapy techniques. And I always tell people it's who you can talk to when you don't feel like talking to anybody. So I find it very good for like noting my feelings and just really starting to break down what it is I'm going through and what it is I need. So I love that. Something else that I've done recently that's been really awesome, I did a vision board for the rest of 2020. I know it's only 2 months, but I felt a need to just kind of like really visualize what it is I'm after in the remainder of this year. And I used Canvas to do it. I used Canva to do it. I actually did it as part of the APHA conference last week, the American Public Health Association. They had a great workshop on creating a vision board. So that's a fun, cool activity. You can just go into Canva and select photo collage, and you can just put in your own pictures. It's free. I highly recommend that as an activity, especially if you're looking for something to do on election night. I also put down cooking. I plan to have a nice meal the day of the election, but also I've been doing some baking here and there. So, that's fun for me. I have a list of things that I can rewatch that I've enjoyed in the past. I have a list of TED Talks, and I have a list of books that I would like to reread that I enjoyed. So I don't necessarily intend to read them right now, but I know that they're there for me. I'm also building a list of holiday movies and things that I want to do. So that is my whole plan for now. It's really informal and easy, but that's why I wanted to share it with you, because you too can get a sheet of paper or an app on your phone and just start taking notes on what can I read, watch, listen to, do. I have yoga videos that are ready to go in my YouTube library, but my whole point is not for you to escape reality. I want you to be connected. I want you to be informed. I just want you to know that you being overwhelmed and sunken into like a deep depression, no matter what the outcome, it doesn't serve any of us. We need you well. So I hope that this informal video has helped to give you some ideas, and I really look forward to hearing your thoughts because we can get through this together. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you enjoyed this content, I do have other videos that address similar topics, and please feel free to share this widely. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.